So I believe this deserves its own video. Um, I want to mention some people who I think he left me a message actually, and I've been working 15-hour days, and I saw his name, and now it's probably like 200 messages behind, and I don't know, I'll send this to him. My context, um, I have to say how much I actually appreciate talking to you. There's things that kind of rattle my nerves, and it's like, why do you say that? And almost, like, oh, like you defend people, but you and even the atheists had come out with guns a-blazing, who then, after I talked to them, they're like, oh, wait, you're not a fanatic, we can talk to you. Well, what's your view on this or that? My context actually likes to learn about why things are, and he's an atheist determinist, and he admits it, which I have I don't agree with it at all. I totally respect it. My view is that mankind's mind, or the human mind, actually fails because there are going to be things that we can't conceive of, or know, or even know that we don't know, and that our model of reality using atheism runs us into a point of we're machines that accidentally became conscious, and we're too stupid to even know that we're not conscious, and that from the beginning of, and I'll just say a few moments after the Big Bang, since that's when the law of thermodynamics kicked in, but even before that, everything that happens is going to happen as sure as the past has happened. It's not really yet, but the forces moving it cannot be changed. We don't have free will, free choice, or even control over how we say something and what tone we say it, whether we wake up, fall asleep, and what colors we like, who we talk to, what words we say, what we appreciate. We can't even control whether we take care of ourselves or not. We take care of ourselves in a way, and we think our thoughts are doing it, but our thoughts are all determined from just moments after the Big Bang. This I can respect immensely, because it's an honest person who's not, who even if they make, obviously they're going to have a personal view about me, and I'd have a personal view about them, but it's not slanderous, vulgar attacks of, screaming at people. And it's not, he's never strawmanned one of my arguments. He's never, this is the difference. I want to talk about the difference between my context, and I'll even group the atheists or anti-theists who come out very guns a-blazing, accusing me of things I didn't say, and when I said, hey, look, I show them, I never said that in the video. You're getting that from another guy's comment, or you're inferring that, but if you actually listen to what I said, I actually don't say that. And they say, oh, cool, that's fine. I'm glad you pointed that out, and then talk to me, and then have a dialogue. But there's a guy, Gnomefro, who, on a video I did, the atheist-theist debate commentary, and I say about the atheist-theist debate that there are many theists now, many lay Catholics and people who believe in God, have a religion that's cultural, but they still believe in God, but it's a strong tie to their culture, and they're kind of apathist. They don't proselytize. They're fine with everyone, and it affects their culture about as much as or affects their politics about as much as their culture does. They have a wide variety of views, and religion is just a part of their culture, even though they do still believe in God, and it doesn't mean that they're any less devout. It's just they don't proselytize. They keep it to themselves pretty much, outside of maybe wearing a cross or a scapular. I'm not even saying Orthodox, I'm just saying that the Catholics, many of them, not all of them, never all of them, many of them, and that there is this group there's these not atheists, not even all anti-theists, but a very small group of vocal anti-theists, and I name two of them in particular, and then I say people like this, and I actually have qualifiers for it. And I say this I say that it almost seems like they're being the ones, that there's almost kind of this ironic thing where they're actually being very intrusive on other people and very vocal and very loud and very aggressive and very guilt tripping and this almost that they're acting like the fanatical proselytizing fundamentalist Christians, and these religious people who are kind of, I don't want to say atheists because that might be offensive, but who just mind their own business are then getting preyed upon, which is a lot of times the argument of the atheist. Well, why can't the religious leave us alone? You know, it should be live and let live, and I don't want to hear about your religion. But it's almost this form of anti-theism with these few people has been ramped up almost to mirror what fanatical religion is like, and I don't believe you should fundamentalism with fundamentalism, bigotry with bigotry, craziness with craziness, zealotry with zealotry. I think that when you fight fire with fire, the whole house burns down. You fight fire with water. There is no fighting fire with fire. Even if you're clearing brush, you burn that before you get rid of it. So when the fire comes, it can't pass. So and you're actually burning things that are on your side that are safe. So you would actually burn your own arguments. You would attack your own arguments. Me, I say that I think all the proofs for God are stressed and stupid and contrived, and that they're belittling to even the majesty of God, and that they're foolish, and I won't use them, and I will never argue for the existence of God ever, because I think those arguments are stupid. I think it's experiential or a priori, or however you want to term it, or put it. But Gnome Pro came on a video where I was basically saying, in this small section right here, and with these group of people who don't evangelize in this case, and I can show people who act like this and have all these qualifiers, and they're a very small subset of anti-theism, which is a subset of atheism. So by no means all atheists, not even most, not even a large minority, but a subset of anti-theists, and not all anti-theists by any stretch of the imagination. And I go to lengths to say this a few times, and Gnome Pro comes out, you claim that all atheists are fanatical, and I think this is terrible, because obviously this is almost like a gag or a joke, because you're saying that all atheists are fanatical and that there's no fanatical Christians. I mean, this is basically what he said, and I did a video to Gnome Pro, GNOMEFRO, and the first video was the atheist-theist debate commentary, and I think I put anti-theist something or other, and I read his comments and made a video, me reading comments and responding to me like, where did I ever say this? Didn't I say exactly the opposite? And the lack of response was very, very telling. Now, if somebody sends me a video, I mean, there's some things I don't respond to, or I don't even see a comment. I can't see it because if somebody else comments, I don't get to see it. Or I have them stack up, sometimes 50, sometimes 80 at a day. I try to get through all of them. But most of the time, not all the time, most of the time when the real rabid atheists come, it's about this. Two of my videos to Awesome Rants saying people should read more, and then they said I was basically evil because I smoked, and that shows that I'm evil, or that theism is stupid because I smoke, even though smoking's not against any of my religious beliefs at all. It has no bearing on it. I don't know of any religious text that says smoking is bad. I don't. Yeah, it's not. And they go after smoking. They don't go after any of the arguments that I make. Or they straw man the living hell out of them, like Gnome Pro, which it's almost not even I don't even want to say straw man, because it's not even a a tweaking of what I said. It's not just attacking something that I kind of didn't say, or kind of using a weak thing of saying, oh, this is the impression that I got, but things I explicitly spoke against and said, I am not mentioning all atheists, not all anti-theists, and yes, there are fanatical Christians and psychopaths, and it's funny that these evil, like crazy, fanatical, small-minded, bigoted, hostile people, now there's actually, it's kind of creepy that atheists, there's in not all atheists, not all anti-theists, but a very small subset of anti-theists are kind of acting like this now, and that's kind of strange. And now there's, obviously there's always been religious people who've kind of been, I don't want to use, had apathy, but just didn't live and let live. They just, that was part of their culture. It's something that, okay, yeah, I believe there's a God, and I'm not saying they're any less devout for that. They probably can be even more devout, but it didn't affect science or politics for them, and they weren't pushing it off on anybody, and they kept it to themselves. And that's odd that that's happening. And then Noam Pro, you say all atheists, and of course there's atheists who are scientists. How do you not say? I mean, things that I didn't even come close to saying. He started arguing against me, things that I actually argued the point of. He then argued against me, arguing the point of. So I'm like, wait a minute, I said exactly that, and now you're, it's like I say, water is good for you. You know what? Water is good for you. I don't know why you keep saying this stuff. Water is good for you. How dare you say anything else? No, he repeats things I explicitly say in the guise that that I spoke opposite of it somehow. And it's shocking because I remember this person being a rational person. Maybe I got them mixed up with somebody else, but I was very shocked. But his lack of response speaks volumes. That I sent him the video. When somebody sends me a video where it's not just a link, it's actually the video, I watch it, not in shared, but in a PM where they send me the video. And he was quick to keep with the messages and all that, so I sent him video. And I think that's funny that they attack me for smoking or things I don't say, because it's easier for an atheist to attack the existence of God. I will. Any of these arguments, I don't like them. I think it's disgusting. But since I don't do that, and I only refer to traditions within the Orthodox Church or the relationship to something else when I talk about orthodoxy and religion and God, they kind of don't have a dog in the fight. They don't have a say. So I'll get people on here, you're fucking crazy, you're a psychopath, I hope you die. And from atheists, from people who claim to be rational, skeptical atheists who don't like proselytizing and mean, bigoted religious people judging people just because they don't have a religion. What are you doing then? And I point this out, and then I get Noam Pro basically backing up my point 100%. It's very strange. I'm going to send this to my contacts because Noam Pro makes me appreciate my context so much more. I mean, there's things where I'm like, man, this guy must have this and that, but I deeply appreciate the more crazies I talk to, my contexts of this world. I feel blessed to have met them. They give me hope. Take it easy, everyone. Peace to you. May God save Serbia and Syria. I'll catch hell for that one too, probably. So I believe this deserves its own video. I want to mention some people who I actually, I think he left me a message actually, and I've been working 15-hour days, and I saw his name, and now it's probably like 200 messages behind, and mankind's mind, or the human mind, actually fails because there are going to be things that we can't conceive of, or know, or even know that we don't know. And that our model of reality using atheism runs us into a point of we're machines that accidentally became conscious. Wait, you're not a fanatic, we can talk to you. Well, what's your view on this or that? My context actually likes to learn about why things are, and he's an atheist determinist, and he admits it, which I have I don't agree with it at all. I totally respect it. My view is that and we're too stupid to even know that we're not conscious, and that from the beginning of, and I'll just say a few moments after the Big Bang, since that's when the law of thermodynamics kicked in, but even before that, everything that, I don't know, I'll send this to him. My context, I have to say how much I actually appreciate talking to you. There's things that kind of rattle my nerves, and it's like, why do you say that? And almost, like, oh, like you defend people, but you and even the atheists had come out with guns a blazing, who then, after I talked to them, they're like, oh,